afternoon once again. I think I've already introduced myself. A field agronomist from Golden Finger Farms Ranches Limited. I just drafted something while the program is ongoing, and feel like I would like to pass that across to us, and be able to at least it's a form of knowledge transfer, and for us to acquire a skill today. I'll be talking on vegetable farming because I'm a field agronomist, and my area of specialization is growing arable crops like tomatoes, pepper, cucumber, and the likes. But the main problem that we have in the agri-system is that people venture into all this cropping or farming business with a drive of making profit immediately. I didn't say that you are not going to make the profit will definitely come, but there is a key knowledge about agricultural system that has to do with the knowledge, the technical know-how. You must have the technical know-how. You must able to know the right input to use at the right time. You must have the skills on crop management. You must have skills on integrated space management and other areas that you need to cover before you go into agriculture operates. And the first thing I will talk about is the technical know-how, using the right input, ranging from the seed selection, your quality fertilizer application, crop management, crop protection, and irrigation pattern that you choose. So these are one basic factors that we need to equip ourselves with before we venture into agricultural business. When we are talking about seed, you need to know the types of seed you want to cultivate, and that is the bedrock of farming. When you select wrong seed, it means that, they say when the foundation is faulty, what shall the righteous do? The seed is the bedrock of farming. And we have different types of seed. We have the hybrid seed, which are improved seed, and they are resistant to some soil diseases, and they are also tolerant, and they are also, in terms of productivity performance, they have very good productivity performance, and also the quality of fruit and the shelf life after harvest. There are some tomatoes. Let's use tomatoes as a case study. You get a tomato, you don't know the source of the seed, you don't know the shelf life of the fruit that is coming out from the seed, and you now see that when you harvest, within time being, your fruit have started diminishing and they are started spoiling. So you need to get the right seed in terms of the shelf life of your seed. So we have the hybrid seed, and we all know what is called hybrid seed. It's cross-pollination of two different offspring to produce improved varieties of seed, and which have those characteristics that I've said in terms of tolerance, in terms of performance, and in terms of the shelf life. Also, we'll talk about the right input to use regarding fertilizer intake for your crops. At times, most of us doesn't know the history of the soil you are using. We don't know the chemical composition of the soil. We believe that all soil are fertile, and we just venture into the planting business, and at the end of the day, we are not getting the right result. So this is advanced advanced modern farming system, whereby you need to do the soil test analysis to determine the soil nutrient available at that right time. And we all know our major elements in the soil. We know that the soil must have nitrogen, it must have phosphorus, it must have potassium, magnesium, calcium, and sulfur. These are macro elements in the soil. And also, it must also have the traceable elements, which we call micro elements. It must have boron, manganese, zinc, copper, iron, and the likes. But how will you know if your soil is fertile or not? And that is why we used to do soil test analysis to know the soil history and to know the nutrient that is inside the soil. And when you don't have the nutrients available in the soil, there is a way you can incorporate the nutrients via applying poultry manure to the soil to help the soil fertility, and also to use synthetic chemicals like NPK fertilizer that we listed, and other source of nutrients that you can incorporate to the soil. I'm saying all this so that we, as the modern farmers that we call ourselves, we be able to have idea of how to get results at the end of the production cycle. And these are the first things that you need to take into conversant: the seed and the fertilizer. I have to rush it. Then also you have to know about your integrated pest management, which comprises of 3 different strategies: the physical control, the chemical control, and the biological control. How will you control pests invading your crops, and what are the control measures you want to use? Basically, people want to grow organically these modern days, avoiding the use of chemical control and using physical control and biological control. And most of these biological control activities, we will learn it before we end this program, because there is a way you can formulate your biopesticide using natural extract from plants like garlic extract, ginger extract, neem oil, and the likes from the neem trees. So we have our biological control, so we can do away from chemical control for our crops. So that is for that. So let me just stop here so that you can start preparing your questions regarding to what I said. Thank you.
Good afternoon. As I earlier said last, up to date, Abuja, we cannot be able to feed. All the farmers, fish farmers in Abuja, we couldn't be able to feed Abuja. If, for example, you are only into hatchery, up to tomorrow, Abuja still need hatchers, because there is a lot of farms. If you want to work as a farmer, there is a farm that we can be able to post you there to go and work on. And if you are a fish table side producer, no problem. Culture as much as you want. In terms of the market is there within that Abuja. You will not even leave your farm. I can connect you with the buyer. The buyer will come down there and buy from you, and I will give you all the necessary direction that you take with any fishmonger that will come down to your farm. There is no problem for that.
Thank you. John is my name. I will spend longer time than the previous speaker. Please, you can take note of your questions. As I've said earlier, advanced techniques in agriculture. You might have heard of soilless farming and hydroponics. So I am happy you are aware of it. We can revise your knowledge on it. If you have any question, you can ask on it. Another thing that I want you to note is you can detect the type of your crop from your handset, Android phone. So what you can do is to download an app. Some of you might be aware of it. There is an app known as PlantNet. You can even download it now. And there is another one, PlantNet. No space between the two. Well, N-E-T. So PlantNet. When you download it, if you take any plant at all, you just snap it under the camera, and then before you know it, it will bring out the name of the plant and any other information you need on it. And I, as a crop protectionist, there is another app that is free. The name of that app is known as Plant Disease Detection. Plant disease detection. If your leaf is yellow or brown, put it under it. It will now bring out the name of the disease, the symptoms, and how to manage it. That is the act of using artificial intelligence by using image-based detection. The program they use known as machine language and deep learning. So, by God's grace, we have 4 that have been tropicalized. Most of these crops you see there, some of them are not tropical, like cassava is not there, yam is not there, but when you talk about apple and so on and so forth, they are there. Because of that, I and my research team have been able to form one app like that will be able to detect indigenous diseases that is peculiar to our tropical agriculture. And if you have more questions, when there is room for interaction, you can ask something on it. Another one includes how to control pesticide residue. There was a time that they exported some beans from Nigeria just 5 years ago, and the beans were rejected. Why? Because of pesticide residue. How did they do it? Farmers use too much of pesticide on their farm. It did not stop there. The people that are buying it, I believe they are from Niger State. We detected it. Some white men came from Netherlands. I was the intermediary between the Netherlands and Nigeria. We discovered that in Kotagora, in Niger State, where they are producing the beans, they spawned this insecticide known as dichlorophos. They just soak the whole beans there, they dry it, bag it, and then send it to Abuja and everywhere. They even wanted to send abroad, and it was detected. And then it was exported back to Nigeria. And they banned Nigeria for 5 years. Not until when we changed. After that 5 years, they came and they extended the ban. So if you have question on pesticide residue, herbicide residue, insecticide residue in the food you harvest, you have room to ask question on that. And nowadays, we are into smart farming. That is the order of the day. Application of technology, of sensors, of gadgets on the farm. So, not until when you have it, before you go there. On your farm, you have a small room, a control room, where you press button here and there. When to apply fertilizer, it will tell you when to kill the insect population. Yes, it will tell you to even mix chemicals that we are going to apply. If there's any insect, there's any cow, is going to, you are going to see it, not like television, and you know the action to take. That is smart and modern agriculture. And nowadays, we are trying to learn adaptation to climate change by farmers. There are some climate change, too much or too little of one thing or the other. As a modern farmer, you need to learn how to adapt to it. By last week, Thursday and Friday, I was in central area, so some people came aboard to discuss how our small-scale farmers can adapt to the pending climate change. maybe 2 minutes or if you like. Another thing is what is known as plant disease clinic. In abroad, we have a clinic for plant diseases. As you go to teaching hospital, they even do surgery for plant diseases. It is possible. There are some insects, there are some pathogens, there are some symptoms you see on your crop. It could be on the leaf, it could be on the fruit that you have harvested. So you need to have a clinic whereby they will tell you the nature of the disease and the type of herbicide, the type of pesticide that you can apply to cure it. That is our management aspect. If you have questions also for this my agronomist on greenhouse farming,